Hello designers, this is Mr. Gremlin here, and I hope you're having a great Titan day. I want to go through one of the projects that you're going to run into, and that is the Banksy stencil project. So to start off with, any sort of information that you need about this project is going to be located in Unit 6, Art for Social Change, where you can learn about Banksy and this artwork that we're going to create together. Banksy, in short, is an artist who works out of the United Kingdom and has a number of themes that he works with. Social change is a big one of them. And what we want to do is we want to use our abilities as graphic designers and thinkers to create an artistic piece that gets people to think about the world that they live in and what things could be changed about it. Now you're going to see some student examples at the end of this presentation. You're going to start by working on the Banksy stencil worksheet, and this is going to give you kind of the basis for what the entire project is going to be about. And so you're going to come up with a theme that you want to speak about, whether it's poverty, civil rights, disobedience, borders, censorship, justice, any of those things. You're going to choose you're going to write 3 sentences about a theme that's important to you. And you're going to list at least 3 examples of images that pertain to your theme. For instance, if your theme is about poverty, maybe you choose a child begging, okay, as part of your theme. That would be one of the images that you could use. And then how are the images going to be combined to create a compelling and thought-provoking image? And what you want to do is you want to be provocative with your image to get people to really, challenge people to think about your theme and your topic. And how did you alter and modify the image? And I'm going to actually walk you through how you're going to modify that image right now. So we're going to be working inside of Pixlr, and I've already selected some of my images, and I'm going to start putting them together. So I'm using Pixlr E, and one of the things that you're going to have to do is probably cut the picture out from the background. Now this picture has a white background, so it's easy to just click the magic wand tool, click on the background, and then it's cut out. The second thing that you want to do is you want to make this black and white and have that kind of stencil effect. And so we're going to go to adjustment. We're going to desaturate the image. And that's going to turn it black and white. Now we need to increase the contrast. So adjustment. And I like to use curves and or levels. I'll use levels this time. And we want to bring the black and the white triangle closer together. And if you see that I bring that there, it makes it darker. And if I bring the white one closer to the black one, it makes it lighter. And I want to kind of get these as close together as possible. And this is looking pretty good. And the last step that I want to do is go to Adjustment and Posterize. And we're going to choose 3 colors here. 1, 2, 3. I'm going to do this to all of my images. I'm going to use a selection technique to remove the background. Now, if this selection technique doesn't work, another thing that you can use is the eraser tool. And you just try to erase around the image really close. I'm going to make this picture a little bit bigger. And then I'm going to do the same steps. I'm going to desaturate it. I'm going to adjust the levels. You could also try using brightness contrast. This time I'm going to just increase the contrast here. And then we're going to go to posterize and select 1, 2, 3 levels. And I'm going to do this one more time on this larger image. Adjustment, desaturate, brightness, contrast, and posterize 3. And I did the posterize last because it's going to be easier for me to delete out these other areas. Alright, so I'm on my last several steps here, and what I've done is I've created this picture where I have Liberty Island here, and I'm going to erase out the background. And it looks like it's fitting inside of this plywooded wall. And I'm going to take these other images here, and I'm going to move them off to the side. And so what it's looking like is that Lady Liberty has left her perch from Staten Island, and she's kind of sitting here off to the side looking very sad. Now, the reason why this is an interesting context is because this is the courthouse where Breonna Taylor was tried. And so you have Liberty kind of sitting, left her perch of standing in New York, and now she's kind of worried to herself standing off the side. And what I've done is I've changed the layers so they look like they're kind of like this stencil-like look. I'm going to do one last thing to each of these layers to make them look more stenciled. And that's going to be changing the blending mode. So I right click on the layer, and I go to mode, and I go to hard light. And that gives it that kind of look like it's been kind of painted on the surface there. You can kind of see through it a little bit. So again, right click on the layer and select hard light. I'm going to do this to all of my layers. Now there's one last thing to really sell this, and that is to use these spray paint looks. Okay, so I'm going to right click, copy these images, and these are spray paint drips, and I'm going to paste them into my Banksy picture, and I'm going to probably just select one that I like, so I draw a box around it. And this is a nice trick. Go to select and inverse selection, so it selects everything except for that, and then I'm just going to delete it, and I'm going to change this, right click, blend mode, hard light. Actually, I'm going to go to multiply, and I'm just going to kind of size this down and put it in a few places like that. And when I cover it, kind of put it inside the picture like this, it kind of looks like I spray painted this. And I like to duplicate this and set this all over. So I can right click and go to duplicate layer, and then just kind of move that thing around a few times. Duplicate, move it around. And sometimes what I'll do is I'll kind of change the size and maybe erase out parts using the eraser tool. All right, this is a good looking picture. So what I'll do is I'm going to go to File, Save As. I'm going to change this to JPEG, call it Banksy. And I'm going to turn this in to Schoology. And that's how you can create a Banksy picture using Pixlr.